Are we live? Are we live? Here we go. Let me see. Oh, yeah, we got a couple of in the chat. I see. We got Anissa from Brooklyn. Evening. Let's see. I don't, Nisa. I see your question already. I don't even want to click it because I already started and we ready to go. And I don't even want to look at it. I love to do it organically. I love to do it. I just went right in. Y'all see me. I'm at a satellite location. I'm at my home away from home. I had to postpone the live first because we have a bad weather down here in the area, and trying to get home from work and all that. It was a mess. It was a nightmare. I did what I had to do and I made it. I definitely didn't want to disappoint again. So I'm not sure who got the update or whatever the case may be. But we're going, like I said, we normally wait about the 10-minute mark or less to get started. So when you come in the room, hit the like button and also drop down something in the comments. It's all about the comments. You know how it is. So give it a second here. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, we already got a couple of questions going on. So there we go. So that's what we're doing. We're this is the sixth segment of Ask JDUb. Well, first let me say happy Dr. Martin Luther King Day to everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all day, whether y'all worked or you got a day off. Everybody's job doesn't recognize that, even though they should, because it's a national holiday. Unfortunately, my job does not recognize it. They recognize that they want you to be at work. So I had to go. I had to do what I got to do. So who we got? D Brown in the building. Hey, y'all. Still working, but I'm here. I know, D Brown, we started a little early than normal. I appreciate you coming through, even still and making the adjustments. D Brown. Yes, they absolutely should honor it. You get days off for Thanksgiving, you get a day off for Christmas, and this is just as important, so why not? But like I said, I'm here, I made it, and we're gonna get into it. We got a few minutes before we start. So anybody in the chat, you got a question to ask me, because I can't talk about myself with the third person. Ask him, get down in it and put it in the chat so we can get this thing going. Like I said, we got a couple of questions already. So, like I tell y'all, without y'all, the show doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist at all because it comes from the questions that y'all, and for those who may just be peeking in here, this segment is for primarily, not exclusively, but normally primarily to the ladies who have questions, who want to hear relationship advice from the male's perspective. And I'm that guy. So that's what we're going to do. MG bye. Hey, JDUb, good to see you. Glad you could make it. I know I had an adjusted time, so we're going to make the best of it. Try to bounce back as much as we could. As I said, you got a question, put it down in the chat so I can start and I can ask it so we can get the show going. Yep, I'm glad you mentioned that, Anissa. Right, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you, Anissa. Actually, now I'm going to have to move this segment to Mondays, and normally it will be in the realm of Mondays at 7 p.m. Why? Because, the Ready to Love season has started, and, I'm on the all-star panel on Sabrina's Soul channel. So, yeah, we doing that on Tuesdays. So I have to move my segment to Monday. You got to do what we got to do. So expect that change. It's definitely going to be on Monday evening instead of Tuesday now. You're right. So I definitely had to do a special time. It's Dr. Martin Luther King birthday, and schedule got all switched up. So yeah, because we will be doing that tomorrow. The panel's back for Ready to Love season 9. So we will be reviewing episode 1, and it seems like forever since we've done that. It just, I don't know, it seems like ages, and I'm ready to get back into it. What we got? D Brown. What D Brown say? That just gives us something to watch both days. Bingo. Great attitude, D Brown. Absolutely. Let me see. Where we at? Yeah, we'll get it started in about 4 minutes or so. I don't still, like I said, I got a couple of questions we're going to answer. And as I said, y'all make the show. We're going to answer as many questions as they keep coming. That's all I can tell you. Like I said, we only got a couple now, but Yeah. And I originally canceled it from 5, and then I had to postpone it till 6 because again, I was like, this is like really been the only content I've been putting out so far. So I had to make sure I make this because really I have to do Ready to Love is back. I need to do a review on that, as well as Love and Marriage DC is coming back, and I'm definitely going to be reviewing that. For the hometown, Sunshine and Flowers. Hey, JDUb and everyone. Absolutely. MG bye. Okay, I only want to read them. Just start because I want to receive the question just like I got. I don't even want to think about it or nothing. I don't mind when people send the questions in because that allows me to prepare or make sure we have. I do it because I want to make sure we have content. But normally within these segments, y'all just be bringing them. And as I said, the show don't end until every question is answered. D Brown says, while we wait, how are you liking Ready to Love so far? I know only one episode. D Brown, I'm gonna be straight up honest. I haven't fully watched it. However, it was a good vibe because I got to peek in because I was working. I got to peek in on when Sabria was doing her live watch party. But I get a good feel. I get a good feel for it. However, what I'm not liking going to the next episode looks like we're having girl drama, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Like I said, we had enough of that. Granted, I have to drop the notion that are they really going to try to find love? Probably not. It's about the ratings at this point because that's why I've been kind of disappointed with the seasons thus far because it feels like they want everything but people to actually find love, All right, here we go. Shayna is in the building. Hey, everybody. Good to see you, Shayna. Look, I always think I was like the up and coming content creator Shayna. She's got a channel. I can't call you that, Shayna, because you blowing up. You got more subscribers than me, so I can't say you knew. I just can't do it. But if you're not subscribed to Shayna's channel, please do so because it's a wonderful channel. She's very funny, has a great perspective, and I know you'll enjoy it. Dora Bonds. Hey, what's that? A red dime? What that mean? I don't know, but hey. Shayna say it's Janelle and Tequila 2.0. Exactly. I don't want to see that. Obviously, somebody else wants to see it because that's why they're bringing it. Because at this point, I feel like it's kind of being typecasted. It's like we're getting to a formula now. We got to have an attorney. We got to have a flight attendant. But I ain't gonna go too deep in the show. Yeah, it's all that. A1 AW. A1 from day one. AW. Good to see you. I appreciate you stopping by. D Brown. I don't like that girl drama either. It's so disappointing to see. Right. They could be focused on so much. Like at the same time, we know like half of the people like entrepreneurs, they have children, they're serious about life. Why are we fighting like we're in high school? I will definitely do a review because now like I want to talk about Ready to Love, but I'm gonna wait. I appreciate you too, Shayna. Sunshine and Flower. Hey, AW. Shayna, no one wants to see the cat fights. We don't want it. We don't like it. We are ready for somebody to be ready for love, for a change. We don't want it. Sunshine and Flower. Grown people fighting is embarrassing. It absolutely is. Just think about people who actually have something to lose, people who are brands, people who are responsible for other people putting things at risk. Because in these days, especially when you do something on camera, you put everything that you have at risk, whether it's your freedom, your assets, your reputation, all of those things. And like you saying, Sunshine and Flowers, these are good and grown people. This isn't Bad Girls Club. This isn't Krishan Rock. These are people's parents and stuff like that. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Shane said the men never act out like this. It's embarrassing. Yeah, sometimes here and there we get a little flare up, but like you said, it's never like that. Like they get ready to come to blows about it. Maybe one. I think that Miami season looked like they was about to fight on the boat. The dude who looked like a Furby. I gotta stop. I said I'm gonna be better for 2024. Let me stop. Michelle Bird. Hey, JDUb. Hey, Dub fam. That's right. Good to see Michelle Bird in the building. Sunshine and Flowers. Right. And it's out. Exactly. Sunshine and Flowers. Yeah, you can't get rid of it. You can be a changed person or whatever the case may be. They see you act a fool on national TV forever, no matter what you do. And that's not a good look. Like, you got to have some self-control, and you have to be camera aware. Now, without going too deep, I would say you do need to, I guess, let's say, try to have the most natural reaction as possible, but you can't act a fool. Like, you know, I'm getting flashbacks. I'm triggered. Nope, we shade folks on 2024 too. Listen, Shayna, I be so bad. I gotta try to improve. I gotta tap into my better self, because sometimes I go too hard. I don't even say everything I want to say, you know, and that is the model of my channel. So we're gonna get started. We already passed the 10-minute mark, so we're gonna dive right in. You know, we get into the questions that y'all provide. Like I said, I don't make it up. I go with what the people say. So I got a question off of IG. I don't know if I should type it. No, I shouldn't type it. I'm gonna just say it. Oh, I can type it. I'm gonna type it. I don't know what I'm gonna do I? No, I ain't gonna type it. See, I'm all over the place, but I'm gonna say it. Why are having deal breakers and boundaries good? This is an IG question. Why are having deal breakers and boundaries good? Well, great question off of IG. Having deal breakers and boundaries is a wonderful thing. You're pretty much telling the person who's interested in you, deal breakers, this is what I will not tolerate. And boundaries, these are the limits or the things that cannot be crossed with me. These are places where you need permission to cross over, or you can't cross over at all. Because if you don't have those deal breakers and boundaries, that means you will be willing to accept anything and everything. Everyone should have deal breakers. Like, that's something everybody should sit with themselves and say, if I'm with someone, what if this happens that stops me from moving forward in this relationship? It's something that, like, I can't tolerate, I can't live with, you know, and everybody should have them. If it's just something basic, whether somebody is speaking abusively to you, or DV, or someone who's not a gentleman, everybody's different, everybody's extreme. And we had talked about that before in the previous segment about like having more so like preferences, or the things that you require, and those things are important, because you really have to know within yourself what you need, what you want, what you can live with in a relationship, because it's very important. And for boundaries, believe, I'm gonna tell you like this: in this world, there are a lot of people who I'm gonna say they have bad energy. I'm gonna say it nicely, where they look to take from you, where they look to manipulate you, where they look to influence you in such a negative way. And you have to know yourself. You have to know how. Thank you, babe. You have to know and how you want your life to look. And again, so we don't want to go on the situation where, like, some of the ladies and make a move where it's like you get this new kick. Now it's like a theme off of, you know, I'm not going to settle, I'm not going to do this. Yes, boundaries. Yes, deal breakers should be in place, but also if you're in a relationship, you also should have a focus on what the other person needs and want, because it's not one-sided. You know, they always got that saying, that old saying, but they have to correct it. You know, happy life, happy wife. No, happy house, happy spouse. It's about two people. It's not just about one person. Like, what can you bring to the table? What's going on? What Shayna say? To say she's pulling out curls when she just met that man is insane. Oh, you already talking about Ready to Love. Yes, it was. That lady is toxic. I called her with something. I think I got to go back to the review that me and Sabrina did. And, you know, we were just going off the vibe. And I think I knew something was there. That's what I'm going to say. I don't want to go too deep. Yeah, you can't let folks treat you any kind of way. You have to have boundaries if you respect yourself. Absolutely, Shayna, because if you don't respect yourself, no one else will. It's the saying, you teach people how to treat you. It's no difference from like children, or like we all were children at once, and children are very observant. So children, aka now adults, observe people and to see like what they can get away, how far can they push it. You know, that's a lot of people's nature. So you have to know yourself. You have to teach a person that, hey, I'm important. Hey, you can't just treat me any kind of way. Hey, I don't control what you do, but I can control what my environment looks like. So if you treat me poorly, I got to go the other way. I got to go the other way. What Shane is saying. Happy house, happy spouse for sure. Y'all water each other. That's right. You, Dr. Shane, and you coming in today. Yep. Pour into each other. I'm a whole AW question, so it'll just be a surprise when I tap on it. Kelly asks, hey, everyone. That's a good one, AW. I ain't even read it, so that's good. But I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take the questions in what do you call it? In order. I can't wait to get the AW question now. Okay, we got a question. We got a question from Anissa from Brooklyn. What stage should children to have them or not to or not? The number, discipline types, education, private home, homeschool, or religious? Like Anissa, that is a very broad question. It's a very important question. Because that all depends on how your life is set up and structured. Now, I'm a, because a part of this is of me. So I go personally. If you ask me, I had my whole life figured out at 16. I knew how I was going to move, what I was going to do, how my family structure would be set up. And guess what? None of it happened. It's a saying that I picked up along the way. It ain't really no saying. It's off of a line because I told y'all I'm really a rapper. It's a line off a Jay-Z song. You want to make God laugh, just tell him your plans. Like, you really don't know how your life will turn out or be. You can plan, and you should plan, because it's so many sayings. Like, in real life, the older people have left us some jewels, some things that apply forever that we can pass down to our children. The best laid plans can fail. So if you don't even have a plan, how do you think your life's gonna go? It's gonna go haywire. So they do tell you, as like a young person, don't try to figure out everything all at once. You kind of gotta let life come to you, but also make some plans and make some goals. But at this point, like, get back to your question, Anissa. Yeah, that's totally dependent upon where your life is. And I'm gonna say, as a overall, as a people, our people, a lot of times, a lot of us have was not given the tools on how to conduct ourselves in certain situations as adults, or even in relationships, because we didn't have great examples. And I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm just speaking in general. And the fact is, like, some of us have had children where it was not the most ideal time. They say there are no mistakes and all that kind of stuff, and there's reasons why things happen or things take place in your life. But yeah, children is a tough one, because they say, like, at any time, is it really a right time to do something? Because, like, you'll kind of deal with it. But sure it is. When it comes to children, the most planning and solid foundation you can lay for yourself to bring children to the world, that's the best time. There's never a perfect time. Like, you say, oh, I need $100,000 to have a child. No, you just want to make sure you're in the best position to address all these types of things, like what type of education that they'll have, what type of setup at home they will have, and discipline types. Definitely, when you say that, Anissa, that also is dependent on the parent. And not oddly enough, it also matters the way people were raised, those factors, because, like, sometimes in discipline, especially if you grew up back in the day like I did, there was like only one way to, like, discipline a child. Is like, a child should be seen, not heard, kind of deal. We didn't have voices back then. You just had to obey, and that's it. If you got out of line, there could be a heavy hand behind it. And again, I'm not against discipline. However, I believe in everything there should be a balance, because you'd be surprised what children know. You'd be surprised what children could offer you to help you manage their life. That's what a good manager does. A manager doesn't rule with a heavy hand. They look at who they're working with, and your child is someone you would manage. So it's just, it all matters. This question matters in how your life is set up and what you think and when it's beneficial. It's like, it's never the right time, because anybody who's planning to have a child, it's a scary moment because your life is going to change forever. Once that child is living and breathing, your life will never be the same. It's an instant change. And yeah, that's a tough one, Anissa. Yes, that has to be. It all depends, especially because raising a child and making all those choices is supposed to be set up with two people. And a lot of times, even still, some people have to do it by themselves, unfortunately. And that can be problematic. Let me get back to the comments. I feel like I missed something. I know I got some questions. I feel like I missed something. This is a good one right here. D Brown, OMG, God has laughed at many of my plans. Absolutely. You definitely like, because yes, we can be powerful beings within ourselves. However, we are not in control. We're not in control. And depending where your mindset or what you believe, what direction you feel like your life is geared, some of us believe that everything is already written no matter what we do. You know, what's Shane is saying? Yep. Sometimes God gives us what we want and realize it's what we thought it would be. Oh yeah, it'd be some jokes, but as a wise woman once said, you know, in your life, either it's a blessing or a lesson, you know, and like everything happens for a reason. I firmly believe that. What AW say, sunshine and flowers, ha ha ha, you're not wrong. I gotta go back to the comments. I missed it. Hey Jamoya, I gotta go back. You know how I feel about the comments. The comments are everything. Let me go back. Let me work my new computer. Let's see. Let's see. I feel like I missed a whole lot. All right, let's see. I think I'm halfway caught up. Just kind of make sure. I gotta make sure. You know how I am. I'm about them comments. I'm like OCD about the comments. I think we are caught up. Yes, we are caught up. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the next question. We're gonna go to the next question. Take that one out. Bring this one in. MG By says, "How do you resolve conflict in a relationship without fault finding?" Y'all ask some excellent questions. I swear, because these things apply to each and everyone. Anybody who has any kind of relationship, but we focus on like, let's say, a romantic relationship. With resolving without fault finding, I think you have to take a mindset of like, I'm not going to point the finger. That's my motto. You did this, you did that, because when you start doing that fault finding, that finger pointing, you no longer have an issue. Your person is now the issue. And in real life, that is the exact opposite of what you want to do. You want to things will always come up in a relationship. However, what you want to do is treat it as an issue. We are always on the same side. We just have a issue we need to work out. And that's when healthy communication comes in. Because at the same time, that is the biggest time when you want to have the healthiest of communication, when there is a conflict. Because at the same time, you want to treat each other well, even in conflict, even in adversity. Because I definitely talked about that before as well. You don't want a temporary problem to become a permanent problem or to become like a scar in your relationship. You want to always say, what do we have to do? Regardless of whose fault, it's both of y'all issue. Not, oh, you doing this or you ain't doing this. Like, you got an issue. How are we going to deal with it? This is an issue. We're a team. That issue is over there separately. How can we resolve this? Not you doing this and you ain't doing this. How can we fix it? We got to use the we terms. We, no this, no finger pointing, no fault finding. I like that word. Let me go to the comments if I missed something. Let me see. Oh, y'all just talk to each other. But yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I ain't missed nothing. So let me go to this last question that I got. I got the last question. The last question is from no other than A1 from Day One. AW asks, why do some men think you're weird if you're 40 and never been married and child-free by choice? It's like they expect you to be crazy. AW, I'm going to tell you why. I don't believe this, but AW, you got to really understand that it's like most people who I'm not gonna say most people, a lot of people don't make it to 30 years old without having a child or multiple children. You know, you got to say this. It's a lot of people we know that were teen parents in high school. So the fact that you've made it all the way to 40 plus years old, never been married, child free, all those things. I want to say, AEW, you need to embrace that, because like now you're like, you are so different from everyone else that there is someone that would appreciate those qualities to say, oh, look what I found. Woman has never been married. And I think that's bad, because actually I prefer people who've been married. When I say prefer, people because they've been battle tested. You know, not that that's always good, but sometimes a lot of us don't know what actual marriage takes, because it's not easy. You got to be ready. You got to be down. But going back to what I'm saying about you, AW, you got to embrace that. That's you have a quality. You have qualities that a lot of women don't possess. You know, granted, people be glad. Oh, I'm glad I got my children out the way, or I'm glad I did that. You know, a man that finds you was like, wow, you are very unique. You're very different. Yeah, people or some men who aren't mature think it's weird because they never seen it before. It's like a unicorn walking in the living room, like, what's going on? You never been married. You don't have no children. You're in your 40s. Oh my goodness. What's going on with you? What's wrong with you? You know, and that's a real immature way to look. Like on that Ready to Love, or the same thing, like how the guy, I only know the guy because I'm still learning the people. I think he was talking to, I don't even know the lady name. It's like a K. When he was talking about, oh, you didn't know your ex-husband had 4 kids. Was it that good? You know, like talking like that. Like that's the wrong way to approach when somebody's been through a unique situation. That's not cool. But you know, I say that's mature. So AW, embrace that. See that like you have something to offer, because again, some people, not saying that you wouldn't, but some people don't even want children. They want to focus on their marriage or their relationship. And that is absolutely a bonus for somebody who wants that. Because a lot of times it's a lot of managing when you have to try to blend families and things like that. Because sometimes, again, I saw on Sabrina's live where they had that question about like, is it a deal breaker when your kid doesn't like your significant other? That is complicated. You may be in love with the person. Your kid hates that person. Some people are like, oh, I'm choosing what my kids say. If they don't like them, you out. Some people say, I ain't letting no kid choose who I'm with. I know what I want, and they're going to be gone. You know, it's a tough thing. So you only have yourself to focus on. And somebody that's with you or you choose to be in a relationship with should be embracing that and should be excited about, like, wow, you know, this is new, you know. So yes. Okay, where we at? What's Shane to say? But then they'll have issues if you have children. There's no winning sometimes. Yes, you're right, Shane. There is no winning, because some people are never happy, you know. And I just believe everybody has their person that's for them in real life. Because as I said, what this show is about, again, choosing yourself, meaning you're focusing on your wants and needs first, creating what Anissa brought up, which was great, creating your boundaries and your deal breakers, looking for that person that aligns up with that, not forcing them or saying, this is how I'm demanding. Like, hey, if you can get with what I'm doing, then we can work, you know. But these are some of the things that are critical in a relationship that I'm going to have. Okay, D Brown says, I've been married a long time. I just put that long in there. A long time. But we didn't have our first kid until I was 30. And many people have told me I waited a long time and that I was an old mother. Now, D Brown, from what my perspective, understanding, like having children, being married, that situation, right, that's ideal, really ideal. Because if you don't have a child, like you get married young and wait till you're 30, you have that time to build with each other and get to know each other and really spend time. Because like when you have children, it's a game changer. You have to focus on the kid. You have to work with that new dynamic in your family, and you don't get to like really nurture the relationship. I think that was a great thing to make that choice, because a lot of times people, you know how you hear on these shows like, oh, I want a honeymoon baby and all that. That's the worst thing you could ever do in your whole life. You haven't even learned each other. And to understand it, for people who don't know, this saying is true, that probably the first 2 years of marriage is probably your toughest years. It's like, because you're blending your life with someone else. You have your thoughts, they have their thoughts, and it's like a battle. It's like a tug of war. It's almost like a power dynamic. And if it's not handled right, it can go the other way. So having that time to focus on your marriage, which most people don't do, I believe is a wonderful thing. I think that's the way you go into a marriage. Like, granted, I mean, personally, I think anybody in their 20s is, at this, what I know in this life, is too young to get married. You know, they say in real life, your brain doesn't fully develop until you're like 25. Why it seems like I'm missing somebody in the chat. I don't know if everything looked right on my screen, but it just changed or something. But I'm gonna try to keep going if nobody tell me nothing different. Yeah, your brain isn't fully developed, they say, till you're 25 years old. So I think 30 is a good time to get married. And I think I'm gonna say being an older parent allows you to mature and everything, because sometimes people have kids so young, it's like you're growing up with your own kid. You know, you're just different stages in childhood. That's how I see it. Let's see. I know y'all have a discussion all on your own. What's Shane to say? Since some of the ladies in the chat have waited to have children, will you date a man with children? You know, so that's for the ladies. Yes, Shayna put a chat up in there. Would I date him? Would y'all date a man with children? Sunshine, like 30 years old. Sheesh, that's what I'm saying. Yes. When you brought that up, Sunshine and Flowers, yes, people put those type of pressures on you to say like, oh, you know, you're waiting this old to do that. That's because that's the way they've handled it, and that doesn't mean that works for everybody. Because I think 30 years old is like the perfect time to look to get married and start a family, you know, and figure your 20s out on your own. I think that's the most ideal situation, you know. So Shayna, she's on my panel. I'm being funny because she asked the question. She asked the question. Anissa says, yep, Shayna and AW divorced without children and still looked at sideways. Okay, it's just like, again, you got to find a person that's the perfect person for you. Nobody's perfect, but they can be perfect for you in your life, in your situation. D Brown says, right, I thought 30 was perfect time for us. I think because the people that told me those things have kids graduating high school already. We did a lot before welcoming children. Exactly, D Brown. That is how it's supposed to work. And yes, I'm going to jump out there and say this. Sometimes misery loves company. I don't mean like having children is miserable, but it is harder to have children when you're not established. You're not as emotionally mature as you should be. It can be a battle. Yeah, they can look at the finish line as like, oh yeah, my kids are grown now, but did your kids, not you, D Brown, but sometimes like people who had their kids younger, how did your kids suffer in the sense that you were a much younger parent trying to figure things out? You got to also consider those things too. Yeah. Shayna says, yep, and you're right. These people judge no matter what. That's right. You know what? You want to get away from judgy people, because especially when you're building a relationship, you want somebody to be able to accept you for who you are. And if that's not good enough, then that's what it is. You definitely don't want to force anything. If it ain't working, don't fix it. If anybody say if my screen is off or look different than it did, because I can't see how many people in the chat, let me know if something's funny. Okay, Nita 730. Hello, JDUb and chat. Good to see you, Nita. Let me get down to the new comments. Let me see. What's Shayna saying? 30 is a good time to get married. I got married at 19. I don't know. What was I thinking? I'm not married anymore. Yes, Shayna, that is a tough age to get married. You was just a fool in love. No, I'm just messing with you, Shayna. It's just, yes, it happens. And that's a tough age to get married in, because you know how many times you're going to change throughout your life. And probably when you look up, you're like, hey, I don't see things in life the same way, or I don't even see that person the same way. What drew me to that person at the age of 19 definitely is going to look different at the age of 27. If you make it that far, that's a tough thing. Anissa says, yes, I would consider a practicing Orthodox Muslim man with children to court with. Okay, got you. We're doing great stories. MG Boss said, I was married at 23 and divorced by 30. It's better to wait until you're more established. I just said that. Absolutely. So, by experience, absolutely. That is, and that's not knocking for all of us who got married young, whatever. That, yes, that is normally a mistake. And people who have made it, a lot of them have went through hell and back, unfortunately. That's a part of the game because you just learning yourself or you trying to find yourself. That's a real thing. So yes, it's scary to get married that young. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all the questions that we have. That's what we have, and I'm grabbed the last comment. Shayna says, true, but having kids older, sometimes you don't have the energy like a 20-year-old. And Shayna, no truer words have been said. Absolutely, for people thinking that waiting a long time, yes, it's a different feel, it's a different look. You got to find the right time for you. But yes, when you get older, things change. I'm gonna tell you like this: for people approaching in their mid-30s, once you start hitting them numbers, your metabolism slows and your body's change. You used to eat a whole pizza and a drink a big gulp and no problem, but it ain't like that no more. Things change. You're going to go to bed early. You're tired. I'm tired. It's a real thing. I love that y'all sharing these stories. D Brown says, I got married at 24 and still rocking with him. Not perfect, but no regrets at all. Just wouldn't know a thing about dating. God forbid we call it quits. I'm only 39. Yeah, D Brown, what can I say about that? It's just that, yes, if you in it to win it, you doing your thing and making it work. That's what it is. But I'm a believer when the last time it said, like, God forbid we call it quits, I'm only 39. It's just the fact that I'm a believer of the Benjamin Button mindsets. And I just say that's for anybody. Like, if you're not in the right space, regardless, if you're 69 years old, you want to be valued. You want to be in a space where it's good, because this is a short life and none of us have time to waste. My IT is here. Yeah, it looked like I hit something. I don't know what I did. Yeah. No, I mean, because it would look different.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you can always go to this tab.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all.
And look.
Okay.
And this is how you can also make moderators and stuff like that.
So, okay, we will do that later.
I just was showing you what's on there.
Later. Okay, thank you, IT. Thank you. So yeah, I'm back. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm never saying something to direct. I'm just saying, with anybody thinking like I can't do this because I'm this certain age, you're in a space where it's not the best for you. It's not serving you in a way where you're thriving and it's unhealthy. It don't matter how old you are. You'll be 70. It's like, well, this isn't the space for me, but absolutely, that's what they say. It's tough out here. Hang on to your love if you got a good person, because yes, people are extra weird out here. Shayna says, y'all not calling it white, D Brown. JDUb and Sabrina got lucky. Ain't nothing out here. I don't know what the first part. Yes. JDUb and Sabrina definitely got lucky. I promise you that. I mean, like I told you, I had my whole life planned out while I was 16, but of course some things changed as I got older and really discovered my love languages, my deal breakers, and my boundaries. And yes, I got way more than I ever asked for. And yes, at my ripe old age, I know when I've actually won. And like I said, I say to myself, you'll never hear my story where like, what did JDUb do? Or he didn't live up to what he said he was going to be, or played some games. Won't hear about it. Ain't going to happen. I'm in control of that. I know I can't tell God what's going to happen, but I know what I ain't going to do. That's all I can tell you. With Sunshine and Father, just contradicted myself. What you say? Shayna says, I saw a couple on divorce court getting divorced in their 70s. Mama says she's not spending her last days miserable. And yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. She might got 7 days left. She might got 700 days left. However, if it's not a healthy situation, ain't no reason to do it. And that's the part where we talk about like settling, when like you just say, well, I'm too old, or I'm this, or I got 4 kids, or whatever the case may be. You never have to put yourself in that bubble. You never have to put yourself in that bubble. Why? Because I'm gonna have to go deeper once I say that. You deserve to be happy. However, we're speaking of marriage. Marriage isn't all about being happy. Also understand marriage is also for character development, to get in a space where you're like selfless, like you're focusing on the other person's wants, needs, and desires. And it should be reciprocated back and forth. So that should be the focus, but it's not just about being happy. But yes, if you're in a space where you're being mistreated, where you're not valued, where you're not respected, that's not a healthy space. Let me see. I think I got pressed this button. There we go. We back to normal. I don't know what I did, but yeah, from my side. So yeah, it don't matter how old, what is. I'm with it. Not saying that you push or shoot for a divorce or anything like that, but no, somebody that deserves to be in your space needs to value. They need to treat you right. They need to respect you. You need to feel the love. That's how I see it. I saw something interesting. D Brown Shane. I definitely don't see us calling it quits, but he better get those love language understood. He's a great man. Just some adjustments I would like to make. Yep. Get them love languages together is important. D Brown, play JDub's live on love languages. It can and will be fixed. What that mean? Play JDub's live languages? I hope my internet is interneting. I saw a little internet sign. But yes, love languages are extremely important. First and foremost, you need to learn yours. And if you're in a relationship with a significant other, you absolutely need to learn theirs, because a lot of times, quite understandably, people try to love people the way they like to be loved. Like I said, I go into it. It's so important because, again, I've been getting gifts all my life. That's not where my love is. I need a hug. If I need that hug, I don't need the gift. I thank you for the gift, but I don't need it. And it's that important. You have to love a person how they receive love. You can't ignore that. When you say, like, I like gifts, so I'm gonna keep giving you gifts. You're like, it's almost like you're ignoring the person, you're dismissing. But again, a person has to be in touch with themselves and know their love languages. You talked about love language a few weeks back. Oh, okay. I did. Oh, yeah. Go back and see the replay. Yeah, it's important. We should talk about it every day, because I mean, it's really that serious. People don't understand that. Like, it's a real thing. And Shayna is one of the very few people I know, besides Sabrina, like, she wants all the love languages. If it got something to do with love, put it in the pot. Yep. You already said it. She said, I need all the love. Give it a hug, the gift, the words of affirmation, the quality time. She wanted it all. D Brown said, I've listened to him many times regarding his love language, and JDUb, believe it or not, he's getting better. We had a conversation about it. He received it well. I'm very happy to hear that. It's nothing like having a breakthrough or a person hearing you and understand you, because guess what? Let's keep it real, keep it cut and short. Quiet, cut and short. That's his job, or that's your person's job, all of us, to tap in and receive what you're communicating, because when you communicate, you've done your part. So I'm absolutely glad to hear that, because it's so important. So all of us just want to be valued and appreciated. Yep. Sunshine, Dr. JDUb. Thank you, Sunshine and Flowers. So let me double check. I think we're out of questions, folks. And when the question goes, it's time for me to go, because I don't see no more. So we're just going to, we didn't hit an hour on this segment, but we're going to wrap it up. And as I said, I changed this day, actually, not only because Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but the fact that now on Tuesdays, I will be doing the Ready to Love All-Star panel on Sabrina Soul's channel. I'll be streaming on my channel too. She shared the love. She shared the love. So yeah, we'll be doing that on Tuesday, I think like at 8:30. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that tomorrow, because I'll definitely post something about that. And if there aren't any more questions, we're gonna call it a night. As I said, hey, you want your questions answered in advance, or like me to put it up, send it to my IG, it's _ JDUb, or we go organically in the chat. I just want the questions. I don't care how you get them to me. And I definitely don't want to, be like Cam, what do you call it? Under promise and over deliver. It's just that I definitely need to get to some more content. I do. I'm so busy. Life is really lifing, and I'm doing my best I can. Okay. Well, D Brown said, or take me for granted. Yeah, that's a part of being not being appreciated. Absolutely. So yeah. Like I always tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it. I really mean it. I appreciate y'all coming by. This is always a wonderful time. Good night, everyone. Bye.